Okay, let me get this little participation dialog box off of here. Very good. How is everybody doing? Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Sorry about last week, but we got a little bit busy and I was coming back from an event. So, good to see everybody tonight, Monday the 18th. And we've got some good stuff for you guys tonight that we wanted to go over. Mine is real quick, and then I got Harrison, followed by Scotty, followed by Pete, followed by Stu Rains if Stu gets on, and then followed by Justin with a quick payroll update. So, all right, Scott, if you would, next slide, please. Okay, so I don't know if there's been too much talk. There may have been, there may not have been, but I'm here to kind of let everybody know that NCTB, the company NCTB, is in the process of finalizing a close of sale. And they will be closing the business, and Unrivaled Sports will be purchasing the rights to NCTB. That is not something that is new to our staff. We've known about this back about a year. We just didn't know who the company that would be purchasing NCTB, and it is Unrivaled. I would have anybody go and look up Unrivaled Sports. Very impressive kind of conglomerate that's in the sports industry. Um, Unrivaled Sports is owned by Josh Harris and David Blitzer. They own professional sports franchises. I want to say I think it's the New York Jets. They own a hockey team and they own an NBA franchise. They're big. They own Cooperstown Village. They own all of Cooperstown, and they own part of Cal Ripken baseball. So they're very big and they're very aggressive into the youth space. I would challenge everybody after we get done with this call to go in and look up Unrivaled Sports, and you can see all the things that they're in. They're into basketball, they're into flag football, obviously, they're into baseball and softball. They got a heavy presence in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where they do a lot of tournaments there. They're out and about, and they are buying up what we would call regional tournament companies. And regional tournament companies, would it be NCTB? So regional meaning that they occupy that Northern California space. What does this mean? What does this mean for everybody? Quite frankly, not much for the rest of 2025 and for the most part, 2026, to be honest with you. Um, NCTB is owned by Adam Farb and Vince. How do we say Vince's last name, Harrison, please?
Vince Ledson.
Ledzen. Yes, that's what I believe it to be. Vince Ledzen and Jim Salmons. Those are the three owners of NCTB. What's going to happen is Vince is going to stay on as I guess like a tournament director, right? I think that's gonna be his kind of title. That's going to be moving forward. So none of that functionality that BBUA has with NCTB is going to be changing. Adam Farb is going to be staying on as a consultant for the remainder of 2025 and potentially extending that through 2026. That's kind of yet to be determined. I do not believe Vince Salmon has a role moving forward. If he has, I don't know of that role as of right now. But anyways, yeah. So things are going to kind of stay pretty much status quo. NCTB tournaments will still stay as NCTB tournaments. There's no there's no name change that's going to be taking place as of right now. And I don't think there'll be a name change in 2026. So it'll stay as NCTB tournaments. The only thing that will change is we will not be affiliated with Perfect Game. So Unrivaled has their own kind of tournament sign up platform, if you will. I want to say it's called Teams or League Teams or something along those lines. Um, I've dealt in that space a little bit with our comp baseball team, not a lot. So I'm not totally familiar with that. That really has no relevance to you guys whatsoever. That's just on the sign up part for comp baseball teams that will be playing in future NCTB events. So we'll be kind of separating ourselves. We will not have perfect game tournaments or sanctioned perfect game tournaments moving forward. So the only thing that will really affect you guys, and we'll let you know, is we just won't be playing under perfect game rules. It'll be under unrivaled rules or default back to NCTB, and we'll figure all that out once the sale is final and once I get word on really how we're going to move forward with all of that. So don't be concerned with any of that right now. Just it's standard operating procedure moving forward with that. And yeah, it's exciting times because I think Unrivaled is like I mentioned, they're going to be very aggressive in the comp baseball space. They're going to look to purchase potentially other suitors outside of NCTB and your perfect games and your five tools, your USSSAs, your NCSs. A lot of those organizations have what you call owners or franchisees, if you will, that are out there in different regions, like the Central Valley, which would be Fresno and the greater Fresno area. The greater Bay Area would be a region. The Sacramento area would be a region. Down in Bakersfield potentially could be a region, in Southern California, so on and so forth. So they might be looking to buy out tournament directors that kind of have a footprint or a foothold on a particular region or a particular complex, if you will. I've heard bits and pieces on that. Something else that Unrivaled has done, Unrivaled has went out and purchased BLD Manteca. So they are now the official owners and will be operating BLD Manteca starting in 2026. What does that mean for BBUA? What does that mean for NCTB tournaments? What that means basically is NCTB will be the official tournament host for all games starting 2026. The first tournament, whether that's the end of January, 1st of February, that we will be assigning coordinating umpires for all of BLD Manteca starting in 2026. So more opportunities, more things happening for BBUA, more games. I will tell you, and it's not any kind of secret, anything that I need to keep from anybody, but I've been told that Manteca and Billy Hebert will be connected as a Central Valley region. And there will be 9 total fields, so 6 at BLD, 3 fields at Billy Hebert, and they'll be running for 30 weekends. We don't quite have what weekends those are. My guess it will be somewhere end of January, 1st of February, and kind of run through November, and have some weekends off periodically throughout that time frame. NCTB and Twin Creeks. We were talking about this last night when we were together. We're roughly somewhere between 40 weekends and 47, give or take, on when they decide to take some weekends off. So 30's a good number. 30 is going to be quite a bit. So you think about having more of a footprint there in Manteca. Potentially a little bit more there in Billy Hebert in Stockton. And then obviously we'll still have our perfect game events in Northern California. Nothing changes in Southern California. We stay steady. We're looking for more business down there, to be honest with you. We'll still have our 5 tool events up here in Northern California. So just really, quite frankly, we're just growing the brand and we're growing our footprint, and we're getting more opportunities for umpires, and I think that's a good thing. So we're excited about it. Um, we're definitely already planning. We're 4.5 months out, but we're already starting to plan. We're already starting to think about adding more officials, adding more quality officials, having a recruiting kind of process. We're looking at maybe a recruiting weekend. So I'll let Harrison talk about that. I don't want to steal his thunder on that, but anyways, those are the nuts and the bolts, really, about what's going to transpire. And some of you may have heard that NCTB is selling. Some may have not heard. This could be first that you're hearing it. Could be kind of shocking, but to be honest with you, not a whole lot's changing, except for ownership and who owns the rights to NCTB. And we're going to be contracting with Unrivaled Sports and conducting business as usual. Basically, really, the only new thing is we have a new home with BLD Manteca, and we're excited about that. So we'll have a nice presence there, starting at the first of the year and throughout the year, and our team is looking forward to that. So, anyways, I'll pause for questions on this topic, and we'll also have open questions at the end. But this may garner a few things. So, if anybody's got any questions before I turn it over to Harrison and allow Harrison to talk on his part, I'm happy to do so. Any questions about NCTB, Unrivaled Sports, our future home at BLD Manteca? Anybody? Anybody got one in the chat, Scotty? Nothing?
I don't see anything in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Someone just typed in. Are there any future opportunities for weekday games outside of school season? Not really, because school takes up everything from my knowledge.
Uh, Pete, are you talking about summertime? Throw that in the chat or unmute. I think you're yes. Okay. Um, we are, I mean, we get all the tournaments that are multiple days right now. I don't think there's anything that's going on in Northern California that we don't have our hands on right now. I will tell you that most of the tournaments that are in the summer that are multiple days are start on a Thursday, end on a Sunday, or start on a Friday and go to a Monday. That's pretty much it. Harrison, is there anything I'm missing on that?
No, you got it, Billy. So, what Pete's referencing is sometimes we get some showcase opportunities for other organizations up here in Northern California. We've been blessed with some opportunities to get guys some work during the week, not just on the weekends in conjunction. And so, we have heard from our partners with that, and they are pretty much going to be weekends only. As Scotty was saying, the kids go back to school, so there's not going to be kids are in school already. There's not going to be much weekday action. We've got all our kind of weekday action already. One thing that I am trying to do up here locally is some of the junior colleges potentially have some opportunities. So if there's guys wanting to work during the week, those are good opportunities if we can kind of partner with them. And if guys are ready for that kind of action, then there might be some opportunities there as we move into the fall. They'll start to get heavier in October, and we'll start to get some weekday action. They actually go pretty heavy as there's 4 or 5 schools up here. So, and so that's what we got for weekday action right now. Obviously not a ton, but we're gonna have plenty of action on the weekends.
And I can also too, and I'm trying to look for there is an organization, and I want to say it's through USSSA. There is a league or leagues plural that are forming with weekday late afternoon, early evening opportunities. I want to say I saw something down at Missland. I saw something, I want to say like Vacaville area. Um,
BLD Manteca does host some weekday stuff,
yeah,
and so if that continues, we could be in line to
yes.
get some weekday stuff as we pick up BLD Manteca. We are still preliminary discussions with them. Excuse my dog in the background. We're still preliminary discussions with them on that, so not quite sure how that's going to work yet, but there could be some weekday opportunities down at Manteca in the future.
Yeah. The only thing that will be a challenge for those leagues, and I don't know. Yeah, somebody I think just Rich, you just put in TPR. I think there you won't see a lot of high school kids. That's just my guess. For the simple reason that most high school kids that play baseball in the high school level have high school fall baseball, and I think it's frowned upon to play in an extra league. Because I know some schools are frowning upon playing anything with any showcase or any travel ball team for high school during the month of September and a little bit of October. So I don't know exactly how old or how young these leagues are going to be, but Harrison makes a great point. If it's ran over there, very well could translate into something. I highly doubt it would be anything past the first of the year because high school players can't play in any form of any kind of league during high school baseball. That's frowned upon. That's against CIF. So it would have to be something in the summer, which I highly doubt that they would have something in the summer. So it'd be more like something in the fall. But we'll try to find out some more info on that. But great question. Anybody else before I turn it over to Harrison? Any other questions about my topics? Righty. Well, seeing none. H, this is all you. Go for it, my friend. Enjoy.
Thanks, Billy. I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, that's a lot to take in real quick. We are definitely going to be excited about the challenge and about the opportunity to service more of Northern California with umpires. And I know that's going to pull all of us in different directions. And so we have worked really hard over these last 2 years to get pulling on the same rope in the same direction. And so we're going to continue that process, and there's going to be some challenges early, some growing pains, and we're going to grow into those pains. But I'm confident with the leadership team we have up here with Billy and Justin and myself and Scotty and Pete down south, and backing us up that we're ready for whatever challenges come about, and we'll continue to meet those challenges and meet those expectations and exceed them even. And that's why that Unrivaled is taking us on in this transition. And we're confident that we can handle it. And so moving into my portion of tonight's meeting, what you're seeing on the screen right now is what we attended this weekend. I don't know how many of you guys saw this. It was on the Perfect Game website. It happened over the weekend at Petco Park down in San Diego. So you can go to the next slide, Scotty. So the Perfect Game All-Star Game, basically a real quick rundown. They invited the top 30 high school prospects from across the country, maybe even more. I think it was like closer to 50. And they just put them against each other, East versus West. And they had another underclassmen game as well, East versus West. And your guy, the guys on this call that are your leadership team, myself, Scotty, Pete, and we all got a chance to get down there and get a chance to be a part of it. Pete worked a plate on Friday. We had Luis Hernandez, myself, and Isaiah Barba come in, two former minor league guys I worked with that live in the LA area. And then on Sunday, I worked the plate yesterday at and Pete was at first, Scotty was at second, and Luis worked third. So it was a great opportunity. It was awesome to get in the big league locker room at Petco, and they did it. They did us right and let us live like a big leaguer for a day. So that was cool. Out in the field, all access, all that stuff. So continue on, Scotty. So video time, right? So we're on the PG network. Can you make me the host
Hmm.
so I can share?
Yep, give me a second.
Okay. So I'll talk about this briefly is how do you get to Petco Park, right? So our staff goal is to fill this game next year with Ross with you guys, with rostered staff. It's not going to be me and Scotty and Pete going every year. No, 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 no. Our goal is to get you guys ready so that you guys get to go and experience this exciting event next year. So we're gonna, have a combination of NorCal guys and Southern California guys, but hopefully, 2 and 2 from each. And it's a great weekend. It's a great weekend of brotherhood and camaraderie and get a chance to get on the field at Petco, which was awesome in itself. So how do we do that? We gotta have a plan.
Sorry, going back.
Lose it.
Billy, you got to make him a co-host as well because I can't do it as a co-host.
There you go. So I have a plan. Set short-term goals and then long-term goals after that. How do we get better over the rest of 2025? Saw in the chat somebody mentioned camps. And that's a great way to get better. Great way to get exposure to new ideas, to new partners, to new ways of thinking about the game, to thinking about umpiring in general. And so there are some great camps coming up. And this is going to be camp season as we start to move into September, October. I know Umpire Training Institute runs a great camp. Anthony Prater runs a great camp down up at AP Western States in Vegas. And I know Billy's going to be at that one. And then Adam Dowdy runs a great camp at Umpire Focus. So you have a really great picks out here on the West Coast for camps. And so we can talk more about that at the end, but definitely find a way to get to a camp. You want to get to Petco Park in 2026, find a way to get to a camp in the short term here. So that's short-term goal. Communicate with your staff. Don't be afraid. I called an umpire today, talked about his weekend, and he seemed very reserved about sharing. He didn't want to bother me with different stuff. Like, I'm here for you guys. It's my phone's open for checking in. How's my progress? How am I progressing as an umpire? What are you hearing? What are some things that I need to work on? So how can I be considered for events like this or for other showcase events that we have in the Bay Area? It's no secret we have a lot of showcase events. A lot of them are going to be starting again soon here in September. So we're blessed with a lot of opportunities for umpires, and we're going to keep giving you guys opportunities that are ready to work. So mentorship, if I'm not your mentor, you got to have somebody that you call for when complicated rules and situations happen on the field. I was blessed to have a lot of you guys know Scott Mahoney, him as my mentor along the way. Have had great other mentors, but there's got to be a guy that you call for complicated rules and situations and just to talk and get through and get a new perspective. So if you don't have a mentor that you call when these things come up on the field, then that's a short-term goal is definitely get a mentor. And then dedication. How do you really get there is you got to be willing to put the work in and do things the right way when it's just you and it's 105 here in Roseville and it's going to be hot, it's going to be nasty, but I still try to you guys do things the right way so that when the lights are on, the cameras are on, and every single pitch is on Twitter, that you're ready to work the same as you do every other day. And that's just kind of building that foundation that those layers that we talk about. So can we get to the videos?
You can share a video for we opened up the sharing. It's only allowing one co-host. Oh no, you are co-host. Go for it. I'll stop share here.
Okay. I love it. Thanks, Scotty.
Yep.
So let me share my screen here. Give me thumbs up if you got my screen. Cool. All right, I like it. So we can start here in the first inning. Okay. We got first and third situation. We got 2 outs, and we're just gonna kind of let this run.
That can't connect with it, but I love it. Of course, Danny can connect with it. Meet Keon Johnson.
So you're
I know
gonna
he
meet
is
Keon
joining
Johnson
camp
really
about a
fast.
half decade ago, and he is just every you.
All right, let me move these guys down a little bit so you can hear me instead of them. I had a little bit of a challenge working with this catcher from the Dominican. Look, he's already shaking his head. He's shaking his mask because he thought I missed a slider that was off the plate. But gotta love it. So they'll do it to you even on TV. They don't care. So main reason why I wanted to point this play out or this sequence out is really just finding a way to get comfortable with your catcher. He's setting up different every single pitch. His leg would be in a different spot. His feet would be in a different spot. He'd set at a different height. So it really was changing my view every pitch. So I really had to work with him. Again, first inning, I don't know this kid at all. And so making sure I can find my windows to get my head in the right spot where I like to see pitches so I can get pitches right. Even though he was shaking his head, his mask at the dugout saying I missed it, even though we all saw it was off. But anyways, so not bad for the first inning. We'll move to clip 2. We got top of the third here, and we're gonna see he changes again. He's gonna move really, really late. Oh, all right. We missed it. We missed it moving late, but we're gonna see a nice rotation here. First only. This is a full rotation in a 4-man system. We don't end up with the play at third, but if we did, it was only going to be on the back side of the base. So get your hat off, man. You're on TV. Come on. But yeah, knowing our play there was always going to be a play back into third there since the batter runner was going to make it to third base easily. This is a clear triple in the big league stadium with the fast kid running. And so we're outside, and then we're gonna move back inside as the tag was gonna change. So we couldn't go beyond the base, so we had to come in front there, and we were just continuing to work the play, even though it ended up being nothing. We were ready there in case it was. You guys can put your hands up, ask questions anytime. Feel free. And we're gonna move to our next play here, and now we got the other catcher here. So we got this tall kid from Georgia, and
Oh, 6 foot. Come on.
he is wide and tall. And so my head, if we could put these two side by side, my head is like on different planes, like with each catcher. And so really trying to find your windows is complicated in this game, and especially when these guys especially when you set early. But I felt comfortable setting early there only because I know I'm not getting low. I can't afford to get low based on what I saw from him from the first 3 innings. But I knew he wasn't going to move late, but I know he's going to set up tall. So again, finding my window, working with my catcher, that's what's going to keep me out of trouble. I'll give you one more here. We got bottom 7, first and second, 2 outs. Set that scene real quick. The outs will be important here in a second. So 5-4 game, big spot. So that's the GM of the Padres sitting there taking notes. So he wasn't taking notes for me, but he was taking notes for somebody. Anyways, fucking rope into right field. This ball gets cut off, and what do we got? Boom, Pete right there waiting on him. So kudos to Pete right here. Just coming down from his spot initially. I wish they had the 10-second rewind, but they don't. And the click back isn't good. But we also have a situation first and third there. So we know we have a time play here with this backdoor in. R3 is going to score easily. We still going to point it up. We're still going to wave it up and point it up, making sure that the board gets our signal that run did cross, and you saw that they put it on the board there, making it 6-4. There's a lot of different plays that happen throughout these games, and these are just some small examples about working with your catchers and and really just about dedication, just staying ready, being consistent through each pitch, each moment, so that nothing surprises you. So I am going to Scotty, can you take over?
Hey, yeah, Harrison, if the
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
catcher's shaking his head, do you say anything to him?
Oh, nice. Okay, I like it. If he's shaking his mask back at the dugout, letting them know that he thinks I missed it. I generally won't say anything unless I hear something from the dugout. If the dugout starts going, "Hey, that's not off," then I'll address the catcher, and then I'll be like, "Hey, man, are you telling him that pitch is there?" And if he says yes, I'll be like, "Hey, listen, I have that off the plate. I'm gonna try to make him compete in the strike zone today." That's a phrase of mine that has worked well for me, is that I'm gonna make him compete in the strike zone. I'm gonna do my best to keep the ball on the plate. No matter what level I am, no matter where I am, the guys of you that worked with me, you know that it doesn't matter to me. If they pick me for that assignment, they get my strike zone. And so it's not big, but it is. I try to be very consistent with it, give him room up and down, but he doesn't get any room off the plate. Scotty, I actually do have one more thing to share, so I'm going to take it back from you.
Okay.
But that's my thinking as far as getting on the same page with my catcher, is that that's how I'll address it with him. And then if he continues to do it, I'll say, "Hey, man, listen, you obviously don't know the strike zone, because I'm seeing that ball well off, and you're wanting it. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on the strike zone, but we're not gonna tolerate that for the rest of the game." So I can get more aggressive with it, but generally, if I try to get him on my side first, and if that doesn't work, I can take it to a different level if needed. One other thing, announcement, and a night full of announcements, is that we're going to have up and running in the near future this website here. It is bbaumpires.com. The user interface on your guys' side will not change. You'll come to the home screen, and it'll still have our most recent messages listed here, and then you'll have your availability listed next to it, and you'll have your directory, and you'll have all the same functions and features. We are going to be able to start adding all of our assignments there. And so there won't be any text messaging back and forth for any assignments. We'll all run through this system. And so those of you that know what I'm talking about with different levels and showcases and things in that nature will all run through this system here, and it'll just make things a lot smoother. You can sign up and list your availability like you always do, but it'll be all done through our website, through the bbaumpires.com, and that way Scotty and Pete and Stu, if they want to list their assignments there as well. So don't be surprised if you start seeing some Southern California assignments potentially on there. It's one of the main reasons why we're going to move away from the NCTB umpires website, and we're going to get our own site. So nothing for you guys to do today. We'll make a formal announcement with that as we get it fully up and running. Trust that we're working on it behind the scenes, and continue to do what you normally do right now with the NCTB umpires website. But we will start reaching out about the BBUA umpires website in the near future. So questions on that? If not, I'm going to be done. All right, Scotty, you got it.
Give me a second.
Actually, Harrison, I do have a question. Sorry. Do you see that?
No, go ahead.
You see that taking the place of Arbiter or addition to? Just depends on where we're getting scheduling from.
We don't assign anything through Arbiter. So
Okay.
all of our assignments work through the NCTB umpires website, or you get a Google Doc or a Google Sheets spreadsheet from me fit into a nice email platform.
All right.
That has to stop, because during our busy times, I'm getting 45 to 50 text messages a day for those assignments, and that has to stop.
Thank you.
So everything's gonna run through through the BBUA website.
Thanks.
Cool. All good.
Cool. Thank you, H. On my side, I'm happy to be back. I spent a lovely 3.5 weeks in New Zealand, so I'm very happy that SoCal went super well down here. NorCal went well. I know there was a couple, I think 5 tool events or a PG event that was going on while I was gone. So I didn't hear any phone call. I didn't get excessive texts, let's put it that way. I only got 2 texts from 2 guys that shouldn't have gotten. So other than that, for the 5 tool events, the PG events, or not what's the ones that NCTV runs, H, that are that I give you? Are those like the sanctioned events or something?
From PG?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just do like separate small little showcases out
Showcase,
here.
okay.
So they just call them like little showcases out here. They got a showcase for everything.
Yeah. So for the Northern Cal 5 tool and PG events, I will be back doing the pay. Pete did a great job in my stead. So if you are from SoCal and you watch this, or from NorCal and you know Pete, tell him nice job, great job. So that was it. I had nothing crazy. So appreciate it, guys. And now I give it to Pete.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Great job, Harrison, on the delivery, everything. A lot of good information there. Thanks, Scott, for the kudos. Appreciate it, man. Well, no, I don't really have much. It's just kind of reiteration of what Harrison and Scott are talking about. Just kind of getting better, being accountable, all those things. I think it's real big. One of the things he says is, "What do you do when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody's really paying attention?" That's the person that we really are, right? That's the person that we really are. So let's just stay focused. Let's stay focused. Let's get better. I know someone put in the chat, that they think that we are due for a raise, and I think we could probably all agree that we all want more money. That's not definite, But I think what goes along with that, I'm not saying that we are not doing this as a whole, as a staff, but we also have to, and I think collectively as the assigning and coordinating staff for the BBA, I think we're always conscientious of that and want to do that. We have to have a little bit of ammo to go in that battle with, though. So stay the course. Like Scott said too, this summer's been great. Last few weeks have been great down here in SoCal. No issues, which is awesome. And from what Harrison shares, when we're on our staff meetings every week, there's really not much to talk about as far as issues with umpires on the field. So great job to everyone. Keep up the good work, and I just want to let you guys know that that is something that we think about, we talk about, we are focused on. Is inflation's rising, so yes, pay's got to rise with it as well, and as we acquire more things, we might have a little bargaining leverage on that. Obviously Billy can speak more of that at a later more on that at a later date. But my point that I'm trying to make is, let's make sure we're doing our part individually as well, showing up on time, communicating, all those things at any level, and it's said all around baseball is, what sometimes is more important is what we do off the field versus on the field. So it could be, it could be our actions, yeah, but it could be just our communication, or just you guys. I commend you all for being on this Zoom meeting. Take an hour out of your Monday night. Mondays are hectic, probably for everyone. So commend you guys for all those things. Keep up the good work. Thank you for all that you guys do, and that's really all I got. I just really appreciate all you guys, and I enjoy being a part of the organization. And let's all just keep it pushing forward.
I got one more follow-up before we finish here. Just want to give you guys, because this is a nice NorCal call tonight, I want to give you a little insight into our world here over the next few months. Jeff, I got you right after. I'm going to share real quick. We have so this is what it looks like this weekend: 70, Labor Day 54, 73 the weekend after, pretty smooth. And then they start hitting us pretty heavy. NCTV is going to go 122 teams already signed up for September 13th, 14th. Again, pretty steady. After that, just nothing too crazy. And then they got a 107 and a 103. So if you're on this call in the next the big 3 weekends coming up, September 13th, 14th, October 4th, 5th, and October 11th, 12th. Those are over 100 team weekends, and we're gonna back it up with at least 20 teams of 5 tool that weekend as well. So lots and lots of work ahead. So definitely be ready for the grind as we move into September, which is not, you guys are all familiar with how it works in September and October. So thankfully we've done a nice job recruiting, and so we're not super behind on those events, but we are going to be those weekends are going to be huge. So anything you guys can give me those weekends, trust me, I won't forget it. Jeff, what do you got? Or was your hand up?
No, brother, that was just an applause. No
Okay.
question right now.
All right, cool.
Actually, I take that back. Have you got a place we can send you or log? Can you pop that back up so I can take a screenshot?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
got
of
a
course.
place we can send you available dates, or do we just send you specific dates? How do we make sure you know if we're available those dates?
I'll get you. You can you can send them to me, or you can use the NCTB umpires website. So
Right.
it looks like this. The nctbumpires.org. You can see I'm already logged in myself. You would come over here to the availability tab here at the top, and it has all of our events listed. And so you would check the days that you're available. We talked about the 13th and 14th. You would check the days that you're available, and then you can leave me a note saying, I can work, first if I could type, first 4 games Saturday, and I'm good on Sunday.
All right.
So
Got it. Thank you.
then you set availability, and then I'll see it on my end.
Thank you.
Cool. And if you need help logging into that website, let me know, and I can send you your password information.
Thank you.
All good. Thank you. Scotty, you're up.
I think we're moving over to Justin.
Justin, you're up.
Lovely. We did have a question in the chat about field evaluations and whether those will be coming back.
Yes, we talked about that this weekend. Field evaluations will be coming back, especially as we've done a nice job recruiting. We don't know as many of our new partners as we would like yet, and so our quote unquote crew chiefs on the crew. Don't be surprised if you get an email from me on Monday morning with just an evaluation form for your partner from the weekend, saying it'll have a few things about how their performance on the plate, on the bases, situational, stuff like that. So I can get my head around who's comfortable where and how to best utilize new umpires for our organization, as well as definitely a goal of the staff to go out and see a lot of those faces as well as we move into our quieter time. So yeah, we'll definitely I'll distribute it, Rich. I'll make it a message on the message board as a tool. Cool.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
Payroll wise, everyone's doing a good job of, if there's a question, it doesn't happen often, but if you have a question or something looks off about your payments or anything, reach out. Some of you guys email me, that's preferred. If you text, I'll still get back to you at some point, but email is good because it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. I'll get to that. So again, just check in. If you think something's wrong, we can usually fix it pretty quick. if you have a change reminder, changes to bank accounts, or anything like that, like where you want the money to go, when I send it to Work Market, it goes to the account you specified. So, and once it goes there, it's gone. So, just be sure if you have any changes, you want to go somewhere else, let me know. And I'll work through that with you. I can't see anything inside Work Market in terms of like what account it is or anything like that. That's all on your end. We don't get to see that. So again, I just hit pay and it goes wherever you've asked. Other than that, we're going to stay on the same cadence that we've been on. Expect payments by Thursdays. Typically, we'll try to get notifications out. If for some reason it's going to float to a Friday, we are very understanding that holiday weekends and things like that, when things start to roll into a Friday, it gets dodgy because it might carry over to Monday and things like that. So we are sensitive to that. We pay attention to it. But there's a reason why we typically don't hit pay till Thursday morning. There's just a lot going on behind the scenes. So we just expect it to stay in that rhythm for now. But you can reach out with questions when you have them. That's all I got.
Go ahead, Victor. You got your hand up.
Yeah. Is that on the NCTB website where we initially registered with that information? I don't recall.
That will be an email invitation from me that
It's on the website. But yeah, just get that out to you.
Okay.
yeah, if you just worked like your first tournament with us, that's I have to send you an invite, which I typically send out Monday or Tuesday, so I can get that over to you this evening or tomorrow. Just get your info in there as soon as possible. If you get in there by end of the day tomorrow, you shouldn't have any trouble getting paid this week. It's going to ask you for tax info, so Social Security, and then like an account number where you want it to go. You can also choose a debit card or something like that if you want. You'll have the options when you get in there. But I'll send you the invite.
Okay, and it's only one specific account. It cannot be multiple accounts.
I'm not sure. That's a possibility. You may be able to have some of it go to X and some of it go to Y.
I have
So
I have two accounts. You just have to specify between pay periods which one you want it to go to.
Okay, thank you.
you got it.
Cool. I'm going to share real quick just in case anybody wants to know where that is on the NCTV umpires message board here. You can look on on your home screen when you log in. You'll see we have two things related to pay right up front for you guys, where it's like says payment ADP Work Market. It gives you the intro that you'll get the invitation by Tuesday, enter your bank account information, and you'll choose your form of payment. So try to keep it all right there for you guys, the most important information. All right, Scotty, I'm done.
Questions? Open it up. Comments, concerns? I've seen some in the chat. Anybody? Raise a hands. How many people are ready to go work a perfect game, All-American game, where guys are throwing 95 with cut, sliders are falling off the table? Ready? We're ready? Sure about that? Whacker plays at first base. Time plays that are tight.
Please put it back.
Andrew says yes. John Skaggs. Okie dokie. I'm going to get that front row seat because let me tell you, as soon as you get out there, it's a little different. I'm not going to lie. It's a little different. So we'll see. We'll see. Everybody's got big eyes. Everybody's got stomachs that are growling. I could tell. That's good. That's good. We'll see what happens. It's different, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie. I had a pretty good front row seat to watch last night, and they're big boys. Every single one of those kids outside of two that I watched all have Division I commits. And I have a strong feeling that a quarter of those guys will probably sign and become professional baseball players by the end of summer next year. They're good and they fly.
Yeah.
And here's something else that will catch you off guard. When you get in a big league stadium and you have seats that go all the way up, your depth perception is completely challenged and way different. So a baseball that you think should be easily caught is one that's being caught up against the wall or somebody's diving for it, or vice versa. I'm just telling you, I've experienced it myself. So it's challenging. It's challenging, and it looks real easy when you're sitting at home. I can guarantee that your backside will be puckered, and the butterflies will be rolling. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
For reference, that's the photo of us. I'm 6'4", and I was short to every pitcher. Like I look like Harrison next to every pitcher.
Damn.
So imagine how they look coming up to me. But yeah, all good, all good. We were ready for them. But yeah, it was challenging. It was a fun environment to work. You really focus, you challenge your focus. Like Billy said, like there's a lot of distraction, cameras, and I got mic'd up at a certain point. There's the first time I tried to call a strike with my camera on, I brushed up against the camera and almost knocked it off. So there's just little things that come up. There's players being interviewed mid batter. Like he steps out and he gets interviewed. It's just there's different challenges and things that an event like this throws at you. And just being ready to work was paramount. What's up, Alex? You got your hand raised.
I have a couple of situations questions. So, in regards to judging normal efforts on a infield fly rule, it's pretty safe to say that if a kid that's going to play the ball is sprinting to a spot to catch it, that's probably not normal effort, right?
It's ordinary.
Or ordinary, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would use a guideline to make sure he's settled for sure as a guideline to judge ordinary effort. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you hear Benny Hill running in the background in your own head, it's not ordinary effort.
Gotcha. And then the second one, I think it was that same game. I had a situation where it was a double play, and I took my read step to the right, and I ended up being screened by both the pitcher and my partner. And we had a question about potential interference on that play because the shortstop was kind of a bullet towards the shortstop. So, and it was his momentum took him to the bag. So he fielded the ball cleanly, stepped on the bag at second. The runner was called out there. But then his momentum, I think, from my angle, it looked like it took him wide of the base path. And the last thing I remember seeing was that he double clutched. He was having a hard time getting the ball out of his glove. But in that same time, according to the aggrieved coach, he was saying that the runner is what caused that. I didn't see it because like I said, ended up being screened. So I guess my question is are there any tips for a better mechanic on that? Is it just kind of based on the situation? I think if I recall correctly, the batter was a right-handed batter, so he'd already vacated the area. I suppose looking back on it, maybe I could have taken my read step to the left. But any suggestions for maybe how that could be avoided in the future?
It's 9 o'clock.
Sure. Yeah. So if if there's a runner on first base only, it sounds like, and a double play ball hit at the second baseman, I totally agree with your thought process on moving to the right of the pitcher's mound to judge interference. Just be cognizant of there's nothing you can do about the pitcher per se, because he's gonna, we talk about finding your windows on this call tonight. That was just a scenario of continuing to umpire the play. It sounds like is that you ended up in a spot where everybody else was, and so you need to try to find and fight for your window based on where these guys were going to end up. And so that's just like a theme tonight, it feels like. So that's a good position to bring up. I can't draw you a spot because I can't see I couldn't, unfortunately your game wasn't on game changer that I got. So if it was, then we could look at drawing it up. But I would, I would continue to try to move to the right on that particular play. I wouldn't go to my left of the pitcher's mound. But I would, just be cognizant of what your partner, where they're positioned. Sounds like they're way too far up the middle. If you're seeing your partner in the way, then their starting position is way too far up the middle. They need to have been more to the first base side of the infield if you're getting blocked out by them.
Okay.
Something to keep in mind, letting our partner know that maybe starting position could be an issue for them based on that particular play. Bill, you got anything else?
No, I think you handle that just fine. Yeah, those are challenging. When you feel like things are kind of caving in on you and you're trying to get that window and feel like you're struggling or having trouble trying to get that good viewpoint. So yeah, I like what H had to say on that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, and in terms of the way we handled the coach, I mean, I told him, I said, hey, that's my call, and I unfortunately was screened, so I couldn't see your runner or the fielder. They were both in that picture, and I didn't feel comfortable ruling that was interference because I just didn't see anything. So he obviously didn't like it. After the game, my partner and I talked about it a little more, and he says that he felt that the momentum of the shortstop was such that he had gotten wide enough that he didn't think that the runner was really would have been interfering with him. So
I applaud you guys for breaking it down after the game so much. I mean, that's ideal, and that's how we're going to get better, and that's how we're going to learn. So, right, wrong, and different. I applaud you guys for trying to break that down and trying to find out if anything that you could have done better or your partner could have, seen that you could have done better. That's just how we learn. The hard part is to be able to articulate yourself through all that with the coach to get him to understand, why you guys came up with that judgment and so forth.
Right.
You get better at it. You get better at it as you do more of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to do more of it, but sometimes we're just entrusted to do more of it, right? It's part of the gig. And I think the more times that we're challenged, I think that just it gives us that opportunity to invest in how we articulate ourselves and how we control our breathing, and we really try to be cognizant of our body language and our mannerisms and not to talk so much with our hands, right? We're trying to be calm, trying to be that calming influence in getting that coach to really listen to our explanation of the play and our explanation of the ruling. That's a big void that overall we have as either younger umpires, not necessarily in age, but in experience, and specifically in the comp baseball space, because lots of plays tend to be of the unordinary variety than of the ordinary variety. So they're not your garden variety plays. They got a lot of uniquenesses to them, and that challenges us to come up with the uniqueness of our explanation and why we ended up with what we called. So I applaud you guys. I think that's great. I really do. Anybody else? Questions, concerns, comments before we adjourn? Because I got to keep this staff on the call for another half hour while we recap last week and we look forward to the week ahead. We've got a lot of baseball left, ladies and gentlemen. September, October, November's pretty busy. With Creeks. And, with some Central Valley, I think we just, didn't we just get 5 Tool just gave us what they've got going on for September, October, right?
SoCal Fall, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got quite a bit of baseball to adjudicate and to kind of maneuver. And then, we'll get to December, and, we've got a great opportunity with a free clinic that has a lot of really great minds, and we're going to encourage everybody to attend that. And then we are probably looking to have our own maybe clinic / recruitment type event. We're kind of powering through all that and how we want to kind of do that. Harrison is working the phones right now. Some of you folks that have been around for a while that have been great mentors, or folks that have led umpires that are with us now might be getting some calls in helping us identify some more people. So I think that's great. Just a lot of great opportunities, and I'm seeking out more. I'm always working the phones, working angles, trying to get BBUA's footprint to expand and to grow, and get in different spaces. So the future is very bright in what we're doing. We're trying to do all the right things, trying to run as professional of an organization that we possibly can, trying to give back as much as we possibly can, as much accessibility as we possibly can to all you folks. With the fall schedule coming up, you're going to see more of us out at Creeks and in the Central Valley as it permits. Just trying to give back, trying to mentor, trying to give some pointers, trying to help out through some of those difficult and challenging situations that we face. So we're excited about that. We're excited about our opportunities, with Manteca and BLD. I think it's going to be great. I think we've got 2-3 really nice facilities that, have turf. I know Hebert's half turf, half grass, but that stadium atmosphere is super, super cool. And the 2 co-fields, are half turf, half grass. So nobody's having to get out there in the dirt per se and get all dirty. So that's a bonus. So I think things are in good shape, and we'll continue to move the needle on some things. Obviously, we have to feel out the management group at Unrivaled and kind of see where they're at and where their mindset's at, and how they want to grow and how they want to take advantage of what we have to offer. I will tell you that what we are doing and what we have built here and what we will continue to build is captivating some attention, and people are liking what we're doing. They're liking the product that you guys are providing week in and week out, weekend and weekend out. And so we have to just continue that, because they are expecting a certain criteria from us as a staff, and they're expecting a certain level of criteria from you as umpires, as field people. So the bar has been raised, and we're going to continue to maintain that bar, and we're going to continue to raise that bar in levels that might not have been prior to us taking over. So I find that all to be great, really good, and I'm excited about it. And we appreciate everybody's efforts thus far in 2025. So last call, questions, concerns, anything before we adjourn? All right. I don't see anything in the chat. I don't see any hands raised. I see a lot of people that are ready to go and enjoy the rest of their night. So thank you for being on. We will have another one here in September. We'll get that out to everybody. We're probably going to go pretty soon to more of a mandatory structure with our calls, just because there's a lot of good content that people can hear about. And most of you have regular jobs. I do. I have to get on a call every Friday. If I'm not on it, I get called out, and I don't like that. So it's just being able to connect, seeing everybody's faces, being able to share some thoughts, concerns. This group that I have, that's part of the leadership group, they care about each and every one of you. They want you guys to succeed and do well. And so I'm appreciative of their efforts along with you guys. So kudos, keep doing the good stuff. All right. I'm going to adjourn. Thank you all, and have a good night, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas. I'll be in touch.